Hi, thanks for welcoming me to your small group. The purpose of these little sessions, little videos, is to sort of highlight some of the things you heard on Sunday, and hopefully that'll spark some conversation. We talked about this week the Creed, and as we will in all the following weeks of Lent. And we started with the letter C, consider the facts. Now, the fact of the matter is this: Jesus Christ is a historic figure. Jesus Christ really existed. Jesus Christ did some phenomenal things. We know that from independent sources that talk about him being a wonder worker. And so he performed mighty deeds, and he spoke a powerful message that caused people just to want to abandon everything they were doing and follow him and his philosophy. And so when we consider the facts and we consider that Jesus is alive and that Jesus really is someone, as we said, accredited by God, because who can do those sort of things unless God says, I'm going to ask you to do those things? I mean, if God did not give Jesus the power to walk on water and to multiply breads and fish and to cure the sick, then he wouldn't have been able to do that. And so the very fact that God gave him that power, that he was able to do that, is a sign that he was accredited, he was approved, the seal of approval from God onto Jesus. Now, we as Catholics believe that to be the truth. The question is, does that truth move us to live differently? That is the big question, isn't it? Are we allowing our faith, what we believe, to change the way we live our lives? And we saw Nicodemus in last week's Sunday, how he came and said, we believe. When he said we, he was talking about the members of the Sanhedrin. And yet we see very clearly that some of the members of the Sanhedrin, even though they knew that Jesus worked these miracles, and even though they knew that would be impossible without God's credit, therefore God was approving of Jesus. They knew that. They didn't behave differently because of that. In fact, they rejected Jesus. In so many ways in our life, we can do things, say things that really is a sign of our rejection of who Christ is. When we really engage in gossip, for example, is that something consistent with what we believe? We take something from work because, they don't pay us enough anyway. Is that really consistent? We take our spouses for granted. We try to control our children too much. We feel sorry for ourselves. We crave material things. We want only the finest clothes on our back and drive a really, one of the fancy cars, live in big houses. These are good things that God gives us, and we should enjoy them. But at the same time, do they matter more to us than living a life as Christ would want us to live it? When they become more important than Jesus, they become problems. And that, in so much as they become problems, we are not living our belief. So I think the challenge for us is to really look into our lives and to see, is there a consistency between our faith and the way we live our lives? And what are the things that challenge that consistency? What are those things that seem to get in the way? And let's talk about that for a while and see where that takes us. Have a good discussion.